What if your website worked harder for you? Would that help you grow your business? I'm Appy from iCode Happy. I'm a website advisor. So I love helping small business owners make the best of their website. I love to help them make sure that it's working for them to its fullest capacity. And that's what we're going to talk about today. A lot of websites are what I call static business websites. What's that mean? Static just means that it offers information on a page that doesn't usually change very often. And a lot of times there's not much interaction on the page between the information and the visitor. Is that bad? No. A lot of times it's useful. Visitors come, they get the information, and then hopefully they make contact with the business, but they go away with the information that they needed. What if we could do it a little bit better? What if we could turn the static, passive pages into a little bit more active, even without a lot of time or technical skill? What if it was pretty simple? Today, we're going to talk about 3 simple changes that you can make to your website that will help it work a little bit harder for you and for your business. And it'll help serve your audience with your website a little bit better. Before we get to the 3 things we can change, the first thing is to shift our mindset a little bit. A lot of times, especially for a basic business website, we think about our website as this collection of pages. There's the home page, there's the about page, there's the services page, there's the contact page. Even if you have an online store, it's still a little bit the same. There's home, there's a collections page. Maybe from that, there are some products pages. What if we think about our website a little less as a collection of these pages and a little bit more as a guide to our users on their journey with our business in the medium of this website that we offer? In that way, we can start thinking about how these pages are connected and how these pages and even the different sections on the page are helping people move along their journey with your brand or your business. That's true of a basic business website, and that's true also of an online store or other types of websites as well. How can we start thinking of our websites in that way? The first step is to think about our website visitor and where they might be on their journey. If they're somebody that's new to our business, then they need an orientation. Who are we as a business? And what can we offer them? They're going to need to know that they're in the right place. Somebody who maybe they've been around a little while, they're going to need a little nurturing. They're going to need to know a little bit more about what the business is all about and some reassurance. They're going to need to feel comfortable before they're ready to take another step. What about the person who is ready to take action, whether that's a purchase or whether that is booking a call with you? Whatever that action is, they're ready for that. That person, they already know who you are. They know they're in the right place. They trust you. They need a clear next step. And they also need to know what's going to happen after they take that step. They need to know what to expect. So all of these people, as they're coming to your website, you can guide them through this process and you can offer the content, the information, but also the guidance and help them move from step to step on your website. And if you think about that as a journey, then that can help you move away from just here's this collection of pages and here's this information and a little bit more into here's my world. Here's an invitation to that world. And I'd love to have you get to know this world that I'm creating and share it with you. And that's what's going to help people engage with you and become a customer or a client or whatever purpose your website has for that visitor. So what are these three things that we can do to have our website pages both deliver the information that the visitor needs and guide the visitor to the next step? The first thing that we can do is we can take a look at our calls to action. I prefer to think of calls to value because that shifts the perspective a little bit to not just what's the action that I want this visitor to take, but what's the value that this person is going to get when they take this action. Now, clear caveat here. If you have and you have more than a handful of items, then by all means use a short, clear, simple call to action like shop now, buy now, add to cart. Those are tried and true calls to action that are very clear and they work. And they work well, especially for a bunch of products in a store. What I'm talking about using calls to value instead are for one-off buttons on a page or links where you have a specific thing that you want somebody to do and you can talk about it in clearer language. And so your button, instead of book a call, it says get support. Instead of download the freebie, it says get your guide. Just a tiny shift. Don't write sentences on your buttons. Check them on your phone because there are platforms where if you write get your free guide to blah, 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 the information on the button will get cut off. So it's not easy, but we have a lot of tools nowadays to help us think about what might be a very short 2, 3, maybe 4-word phrase that we can put on a button that helps people understand what the value is when they take that action and click that button. And your call to value or call to action doesn't have to be a big action. Buy this big program. Here's a blog post that you finished. You might like this other blog post. Read this next. Simple as that, and it helps somebody on their journey. On the homepage, maybe for whatever the primary action is, you switch it up a little bit to the value, or you offer something for the person who doesn't know you very well. And maybe in addition to, and I know this goes against all the advice to do one call to action per page, but you can offer people a way to keep going with you without making the huge commitment. And sometimes that's wise. Instead of just buy the big thing, buy the big thing. And if you're not ready, join the email list. Make sure you stay in touch. Get the news. Some people wonder, should you have calls to action on your About page? Well, you don't have to say buy the thing at the bottom of your About page, but maybe you have start with this blog post. And it helps people to continue that journey on to the next place where they can learn more about you. So do you need to go to every single blog post and add links? I can tell you that's something that even I am still catching up on. So don't feel like you need to rush out and add a call to value to every single page and post that you have. Make sure that for the most visited pages, maybe the top 3, that you have a call to value for each one of those pages, a way for people to move on to the next step, even if it's just a blog post to go read and get more information about what you do. The second way that you can make sure your website is working a little bit harder is similar to the calls to value that we were just talking about. But this time we're specifically talking about links from one piece of content or page on your site to another. So blog posts linking to other related blog posts that might be helpful, your About page to your services page or to a helpful blog post, your services page to case studies or other helpful blog posts, or however that works on your site. Making sure that people can go deeper into your world that you've created in your website, making sure that they can continue to find things that are interesting and find things that are helpful to them as they keep going is a really useful thing to do. And again, same idea. Don't stress about doing all the links right away, but pick the most relevant, the most visited, and where you can see people getting the most value out of having these connections, and make sure you start there. The final tip for making your website work harder for you is to upgrade your contact page. If you're like a lot of people, your contact page is kind of a one size fits all. If you want to get in touch with me, then put in your email address and your topic and hit send, and there's nothing more to it. There's a few simple things that you can do to make sure that your contact page is serving people well. The contact page is a great way to not just give people a form, but if there's other ways of contacting you, if you have a brick and mortar business, that's a great place to add your address, your phone number if you have one, and even your store hours to make it easy for people to get in touch with you. If you offer a contact form, let people know what to expect. It can be as simple as letting people know how quickly you're going to respond, just a friendly note so that they know what to expect. You can have a little bit of an FAQ if there are different reasons that people might be contacting you, maybe for support or for questions or for media, then you could offer them a way to self-select and make sure that you know what topic they are contacting you about. Again, don't get stressed, but add one little piece that makes your contact form a little bit more personal, even if it's just a quick little message about how quickly you'll respond. So we've talked about 3 ways to make your website work harder for you by making sure that your calls to action are focused on the value that the visitor is going to get where possible for specific buttons in specific places, not necessarily for an entire store. We're creating links on your website to make sure that people can get from one place to another and really start to experience your business and brand. And we've created a welcoming contact page. These aren't isolated strategies. Once you start putting several of these things in place, you'll start noticing how they work together to make your visitor feel welcome and to really engage with you on your website. If this has been helpful, you're welcome to grab my How Often to Update Your Website guide, my freebie, and it'll put you on my email list, and then you'll get weekly website tips from me. Love to see you there. In our next video, we're going to talk about, now that your website is set up to work harder for you, how do you know if that's working? So don't miss next time, and thanks for watching. Come back and see me again.